we must know the trigger or the cause. The cause cannot be nothingness, because nothingness doesn't exist. Nothingness itself is the absence of everything. So the trigger has to be something.
And what is it according to you?
No, let's understand what that might be then. Because if you don't believe in God, perhaps this is an opportunity now to come to that realization whether that something is indeed God or not, that triggered the universe.
That's an assumption.
Okay, so let's remove our assumptions. So you have something that triggered the universe. That something must exist to trigger it.
And what triggered that existence?
Something else?
And something else, and something else. And where does it start?
Good. Can it go on like this, or does it have to have...
I think it's eternal, yeah. You can go eternal in one way and eternal to the origin.
You cannot.
Maybe it's a circle, we don't know.
Okay, so let's talk about both of these options. I don't think it's reasonable to conclude either of these ways.
True.
If it's, you accept?
Yeah, you're not sure. It's your view and my view.
No, when you proposed a view,
yeah,
you proposed a view, it's either eternal, never-ending causation.
That's my assumption, yeah.
And could it be true?
Can be true. Yeah.
Okay, fine, then let's address that one. If it's a circle, imagine you have like this. The circular, it's like we've got three of us, right?
Trinity, by the way.
Three of us. So you were caused by this gentleman, who was caused by me, I was caused by you.
Yeah.
Could this explain this? Because my existence depends on you. Your existence depends on him, and so on. This cannot explain anything, because it simply will fall from explanation for anything. Let me give you a reason why. You see this microphone? Suppose...
Yeah, but I get your point, but...
But no, let's discard it by reason, not by, I want to discard it. Reasonably we'll discard it and reject it by reason. Say, this is not reasonable. So if I want to lift this mic from the floor, I can only do this if you lift it before me. You can only do this if he lifts it before you. He can only do this if I lift it before him.
True.
So this is the condition, just like our existence. Would this ever be lifted? It will never be lifted. Because if I want to lift this, he has to lift it. You have to lift it first. You to lift it first, he has to do it first.
The cycle doesn't change.
Yeah. So a cyclical causation cannot explain our trigger for our universe.
Maybe,
okay.
But,
it's not maybe.
If there's a start,
let's disregard things which are not reasonable. So cyclical causation is not reasonable for our universe. The other option you gave, what's your name?
Kurt.
Kurt.
Yeah.
Kurt, I'm Mansur. Kurt, nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
The other option you gave was maybe it's forever. In philosophy, there's something called the infinite regress. I'm sure you probably heard of it.
No.
Same problem again here. You cannot have an infinite causation for something to explain something. Imagine now, I want to give an example with you if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So imagine this is a chain that goes on, right? So I have to take this mic, I need to give it to him, okay? If between me and him, there are infinite number of people, like you, first one. I have to give it to you first. You have to give it to this gentleman, and that gentleman gives to another gentleman, and they go for infinite amount of people to go, and eventually to go to him. If between me and him there are infinite amount of people, would it reach him ever? It would never reach him, because there's always someone infinite. If our universe had infinite amount of causes, if you think about it, it will never be in existence, because there will be something else need to be created first as a cause. Our universe will never exist if there were infinite causations. So that infinite regress problem solves the issues of that it's not reasonable to assume that our universe had a trigger, which had a trigger, which had a trigger, go infinity. Our universe will never come into existence. The only reasonable option that's left is there was a cause, prior to that there was no cause. It's the first cause. Has to
And
be.
what created the first cause?
No, you see, you didn't get it. The first cause.
Why can't the universe exist forever? Why is that the only other option?
So you give the universe the property of consciousness, will.
No.
No. I'm saying so.
Okay,
you're saying
I'll
that-
address that in a second. Let's address this problem of infinite regress. When you say what created the first cause, we already said there cannot be no creator for this first cause, because what created that creator? What created that creator? You can go on forever. But if you go on forever, this universe will never come into existence. The fact that the universe is here, that chain of causation is finite, not infinite. So at one point there is a cause, prior to that there is no other cause. We say this is the first cause which is uncaused. Has to be. If you are going to explain rationally this universe, that cause has to be uncaused, no cause prior to that. So if that cause was God, he's uncaused, uncreated. He was there always. Has to be. Because the fact that you have this universe. That is why the universe itself is an evidence of a creator which is always in existence. Eternally in existence.
Yeah, I think creation was a moment of luck. Something sparked.
You see, whatever triggered it,
Yeah, but
that
doesn't
trigger.
represent necessarily the gods people believe in.
No, if you consider a spark or whatever triggered it, itself has the ability to bring about this transformation, the power.
Yeah.
And
Evolution.
no, there was no evolution. Evolution is just Evolution is just a process that we describe in which life is transforming from something simpler to something complex. That is the
Like
theory of
from
evolution.
an egg to a chicken.
But we're talking about matter, the physical universe, before life was in this earth. That's why, it's important to go beyond evolution as our, comfort zone and go back to the existence of matter, of the cosmos, of stars and galaxies. When we have this universe has been transformed into our reality from what? By what? By something that has a volition, choice. Without a choice, it would not have happened. If you had something that exists always, from this, how would you... Shall we go on into the trees? Yeah? Yeah. Let's bring all of those.
I need to leave you. Interesting discussion.
You have to go.
But
Anyway, think about it. I'm
Yeah,
a Muslim.
I will think
I'm a
about it.
Muslim. We believe in Allah. And